Hey everybody, Don Georgievich here. Have you ever received a job offer and then asked yourself, should I negotiate or should I not negotiate? I get questions every day from people. They're like, hey Don, I got a job offer, should I negotiate it? And my response is, I don't really know. I don't know if you should negotiate or not. And that's what I'm going to teach you in this video today. Should you negotiate or should you not? I mean, the topic of negotiation is a very big one, and I could spend hours teaching you how to negotiate. But instead, I want to help you decide if you should negotiate or not negotiate. And there's no one right way to negotiate. People automatically think that negotiation is about getting more money. It's not. It's about negotiating is making sure that you are getting what you need. That could be money, that could be benefits, that could be vacation, that could be privileges, could be anything. So it depends what's most important to you. So the first thing you need to ask yourself is, are they giving me what I need? Are they giving me what I asked for? So for example, let's say you asked for $80,000, a car, and an office, and 3 weeks vacation. And they gave you the office, the car, the $80,000, and the 3 weeks vacation. So if you try to negotiate an offer where they matched exactly what you asked for, you might come across as a little bit greedy. But let's say they only offered you $70,000, but they still gave you the office, and they still gave you the car, and they gave you the vacation. So now you have to ask yourself, should I go in there and negotiate for that other $10,000? Or should I try to get closer to that $80,000 mark that I'm looking for? That depends. Are you happy with the offer? Do you feel comfortable with the offer? Did they tell you that we're not able to give you 80, but we can give you 70? So you have to weigh everything out. You have to decide if what they're giving you is fair. And if you feel that it's unfair, or maybe you could get more money or benefits somewhere else, then maybe it's time to negotiate. And that's where you go in and you try to ask them for more to get closer to what you need. Notice I said need and not want. I mean, because we all want more. I always want more. Anytime I go in for a job interview and I get it, it's like I always want more money than what they're giving me. Do I need more? Probably not. What they're giving me is fair. So in most cases, there's nothing wrong with countering a job offer. But you have to ask yourself, are they giving you what you asked for? If they are, then you should probably just accept that. And it'll be a smoother transition into going to work for them. If you muddy the waters and you counter an offer that is fair to you and is fair to them and it's market value, you could be doing yourself a disservice. And it's possible they could withdraw the offer. It's unlikely, but it's possible. The best way to decide if you should negotiate or not is you have to ask yourself, are you getting everything you need? Did they give me what I need? Did they give me the benefits that I need? Did they give me the salary that I needed? What's important to you? What's important to you isn't necessarily important to somebody else. Some people want more money. Some people want more benefits. Some people want more privileges. It just depends. So you have to ask yourself these questions. What's important to me? What do I need? And the last one is, am I willing to walk away from the deal if I don't get what I ask for? So let's say, for example, they're giving you everything. They're giving you the office. They're giving you the car. They're giving you the 3 weeks vacation. But they're not budging on the money. They're going to stick there and give you $70,000 even though you want 80. Are you willing to walk away from that deal over $10,000? Maybe you are, maybe you're not. I don't know. But you have to ask yourself that question. And when you put yourself in the position to walk away, to be willing to walk away from a deal that gives you tremendous leverage and strength in the deal. That means if I don't get what I want, I'm leaving and I'm going to go somewhere else. Now, if you're just desperate and you don't want to muddy the waters and you really need this job, you can still try to negotiate. Maybe you try to get them to 75,000 instead of 70. Just push them. Say, hey, can you get me a little closer to 75? And see what they do. It's a possibility. Maybe they'll say yes. Maybe they'll say no. But when you're negotiating, you need to have a fallback plan. So if you ask them for more money and they say no, you should have something all lined up, already prepared, that you want to ask again. It's like, okay, you won't give me more money. Can you give me a little bit more vacation then? And if they can't give you that, if they just keep saying, no, 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 we can't do that, we can't do that, then you can ask them, hey, what about in 6 months? After you get to try me for 6 months here, and you evaluate my performance, would you consider giving me the full 80,000 in 6 months? Now, this kind of takes the risk factor out of it for them because they get to try you out for 6 months, see how you do, evaluate your performance, and then if they like you, then they'll commit to their deal and they'll give you the full 80,000. So that's one little trick that you can do to kind of take the risk out of it for them, accept the offer, and then go ahead and do a good job for them for the next 6 months, and then you can get that extra money. That's one way you can do it. But your best strategy before you commit to negotiating is to map out all the possibilities. Like if you say this, what could they possibly say back? And you need to map out what you're going to do for every yes and no that you hear back from them. No, we can't do this. Yes, we can do this. So you need to think about this in advance. If you don't, you're going to blow the negotiation and you're probably going to look like a fool, or you're going to look greedy or something. So plan out your negotiation strategy in detail. What are all the possibilities? What could they say? If I asked for more money, what would they counter with? And if they counter with a certain number, my threshold number, then I say no and I say I can't do it and I walk away. You have to map out the strategy. And more than anything, when you negotiate, do it on the phone or in person. Never negotiate an email. That puts you at an extreme disadvantage. Because if you just type in and say, I'm looking for more money like that, they can just reply back and say no. And you don't get to see their expressions on their face. You don't get to hear what that no really sounds like. So it's very important that you only negotiate on the phone or in person so you can see what's on their face. You can hear how they sound. You can read their body language. And they can read your body language. Maybe they'll see that or hear that you are not willing to go below a certain number and that they better come up to that number or you're going to walk away. That's why it's so important you negotiate on the phone. So from the top, ask yourself, are they giving you everything you asked for? If they are, you probably don't need to negotiate and just accept the offer because it's a good, fair offer. If you're not getting everything you need or you asked for, then decide what those things are and then go in and ask for them. It's as simple as that. And if they're not giving you everything you need, then try to ask for more of some other things, just so you can get a closer total overall package that makes you happy and comfortable and want to come and work there. First, decide if you need to negotiate. If they're giving you everything you asked for, you probably don't need to negotiate. If you're not getting everything you asked for, then map out a strategy and decide what you want to aim for. If it's more money, more benefits, more vacation, whatever it is, decide what you want and structure it. Have your first tier. If they don't give you what you asked for in the first round, just have something lined up that you're going to ask for secondary and then in the third. So have different layers set aside. The first things you want, the second things you want, the third thing. So if you don't get one, go for two. If you don't get two, go for three. But try to get something. And if you get nothing, if they give you absolutely nothing, then you either accept their offer or you walk away. It's up to you. I can't tell you if this offer is right for you or not. Only you can do that. And that's all I have for you. That's all I have for you today, my friend. Good luck on your next interview, and we'll see you next time. If you're ready to ace your next interview, then don't leave anything to chance. You can't just show up for a job interview and expect to nail it. You know that. You have to give yourself an advantage. So if you'd like to learn more from me than this video, then I encourage you to grab a copy of the Complete Interview Answer Guide and prepare yourself to answer interview questions the right way. Inside, you're getting my 20 years of interviewing and hiring experience, and I'll teach you what you need to say to employers so they want to hire you. So if it's been a while since your last job interview or you have an interview today, don't spend countless hours figuring out this stuff. Instead, let me take you by the hand and show you how, right now. When you order your copy from jobinterviewtools.com, you're supporting my channel, my message, and job seekers all over the world. And you're getting a book that has already helped over 1 million people get hired for their #1 job. You'll also get direct email access where you can ask me questions and get my personal take on your situation, so you'll never be alone during your job search. And finally, if you found this video helpful, then give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to my channel so you get notifications every time I release a new video. And by subscribing, you support me, my message, and this channel, so I'd really appreciate it. Make sure you hit subscribe.